And the headlines that TMZ ran was Usher uh, is on vacation in Bali with Russell Simmons. As we know, Russell Simmons is a mogul, right? Russell Simmons is one of the hip hop, a hip hop legend, a hip hop icon. He obviously reverends older brother. We know him from Fat Farm. We know him from Def Jam, Def Comedy Jam, and Def Jam. Like, he's a very influential figure in hip hop culture, but at the same time, he's been involved in some questionable allegations by multiple women, and some women even being underage at the time. And he has not been back to the United States since these allegations started coming up. Russell Simmons lives in Bali now. He hasn't been back. He's on a spiritual journey, I guess. He does a lot of yoga and like spiritual awakening and all of this. And so Usher is over there in Bali. Russell Simmons has lived over there, like I said, since 2017. And there were some pictures that they posted, that Russell had posted with him and I guess his new family over there. And there was a little girl in the back with her leg up. And thankfully, there was a woman in front of her, and the woman's head was blocking the young lady's, you know, her private part area. Why are you laughing? That picture didn't look weird to you?
I said I missed that part of the picture. I saw the picture, but I didn't see the leg piece. I just saw Usher and I saw them. Oh yeah.
So I took to I took to Twitter and I took to Instagram, right? And I said this: Usher, Usher choosing to go visit Russell Simmons is a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Usher going to visit Russell Simmons while Usher himself is attached to the Diddy allegations is another choice. This is so
Mm-hmm.
weird to me. I didn't say Usher was guilty of anything. Now, some
Yeah.
people pushed back on me and said that, like, oh, well, Usher is a victim, excuse me, in a lot of the Diddy stuff, which he is. However, in the allegations that the producer who was on the Love album, who's suing him, um, Usher was named not as a victim in that. He was named as somebody who was participating in the weird shit, right? Him, Meek Mill, um, not Terrence Howard, the other light skin, Cuba Gooding
Cuba Gooding
Jr.
Jr. Yeah.
Um, like they were all names, and there's like Usher was a part of that weird stuff. Okay, now
Mm-hmm.
we do know that Diddy may have done something to Usher, because just like the fact that Usher was around, like a video resurfaced this week of Usher on the Howard Stern show talking about when he was like 13, he was at these parties, these Diddy parties, and there was women walking around naked and prostitutes and all that. So like that's questionable. But at the same time, this is weird to me because Russell Simmons, I get it. Russell Simmons is just they're just allegations. I get it. But at the same time, you don't flee a country over allegations. In
It's
my
like, where's
opinion.
the PR?
In my opinion. Like Usher, basically this is what people so basically people let me just get into some of the comments, right? Because when I tell you they came for my life. So one Instagram user in the comment section of my post, you can see the post at It's Micah B on Instagram and Convos for the Culture on Instagram. All right. He said, I hate this new era of cancellation makes people guilty by association as if we don't have covert abusers slash problematic people that live double lives. All right. Somebody else said, what's hilarious? This is melanin underscore Disney princess. What's hilarious is all the black men in the comments caping for their friends. Like you said, an innocent person doesn't run. The logic wouldn't make sense. Some of y'all don't like to hold each other accountable, most likely because they value their friends more than they value women. It's a whole lot of men out here who really don't like women, and the comments are very indicative of said behavior. Now, let's read some of those comments that she's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Mark Dunson said, "Your friends don't stop being your friends because they're going through stuff." Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Um, Miss Terry Baby, she said, "So they shouldn't be friends because his allegations and crimes." Um,
Okay.
Somebody was like, "What's weird? He was with his wife and ran into Russell." Okay. Um, there's nothing, Christopher X Charles. There's nothing negative you could say about Usher, and y'all aren't about to start now. Y'all like to be so involved in celebrities' personal lives slash business when you need to be worried about your own. But you follow a blog that talks about pop culture and entertainment. That's always something weird. Like, now that's weird when people do that.
Yeah.
Um, it's a smokeout says, "I have many mixed feelings. I hope this is just a case of Stockholm syndrome, but I also want him to do better." But then again, this is the same person who justified Justin Bieber doing some racist shit. Shake my
Mm.
head. Between the interview where he talked about Chile and this isn't a good look post Super Bowl. Somebody else said, "We don't know what their friendship entails. We can't assume that it's about abusing people." Did I ever say that Usher was abusing people? Did I ever say that?
It's because people read into.
Like, I didn't say that, but let me finish, okay? And then I'm gonna get your thoughts. We can't assume anything. There are more people than what we think or know of them that goes for friendship as well. Everything you said suggests that he shouldn't be friends with him because of allegations, and that's your opinion. Yes, it's my opinion, but at the same time, he's hasn't been back to the United States since 2017. Same with Roman Polanski. Well, he's been gone way, way, way. Roman Polanski can't come back. You feel me? Because if he does come
Mhm.
back, they locking his ass up.
You
Like,
feel me?
and I listen. I don't always have the best take. I don't always have the right take. But is there something reading too much? Damn, you cut out. All right. Am am I reading too much into this?
So I see both sides because I'm really big on for me, and I was having this conversation with somebody else, and I asked the question: Is an allegation enough? I said sometimes we forget that um, these celebrities' livelihoods is tied to public opinion and not actual facts, right? And so sometimes an allegation will be enough to make us destroy them, like, and they won't have a career and they have no livelihood after that. So for me, an allegation is not enough. However, if me and you friends, well, we are friends, but if you
Right.
were going through something, right? You got something really big going on. Like, say whatever you have. I mean, just say it's this situation.
Yeah.
It's something regarding SA, and it deals with, say, children, right? I have a school and a foundation, and I have things going on that I am a part of. I love you, friend, and we will
Mm-hmm.
talk on the phone, and I will encourage you, and I will make sure that you stay strong in this. However, my brand says that I can't be cozy with you in
Mm-hmm.
public, right? I can, my personal relationship with you is my personal relationship with you. People don't know what I tell you that you should have done, should have done, encourage you, whether I
Right.
believe it about you or not.
Right.
The thing is that I have to make, where's the PR? What is going on? Like,
Right.
did nobody warn you? Like, yo, that's not
He
a good look.
knows.
Don't post that picture. Well,
Well,
even
Russell
just
posted
like,
it.
yeah, like red flag on a play, like pause, like think about what you're doing, because when you do that, it does trigger, excuse me, people to talk and people to have, like, it does look away. you're going through all these allegations and stuff like that, and then it ain't even like you trying to make it not weird, so you still gonna go to a Diddy event, right? Maybe Diddy was having a Grammy party, right? And you went to
Right.
that because if you wouldn't have went to that, then it would have looked weird. No, you went and pulled somebody with some old news out of the, you know what I'm saying, that we forgot about almost out of the closet, and I did it again and started hanging with them, and everybody's looking like, what the hell is going on? Like, yeah, I feel like this is a case of where's the PR,
But
what
this
is
is the thing.
happening.
Something that you said, we know that sometimes an allegation,
Mm-hmm.
Sean, singular, isn't always true, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with Russell, it's not an allegation, it's allegations.
I get that.
Multiple,
Mm-hmm.
multiple allegations. And
Mm-hmm.
we saw it with R. Kelly. People like, oh, it's not true. Oh, it's not true. Oh, it's
Mm-hmm.
not true. Oh, it's not true. Like, my thing is, niggas need a documentary before they believe shit.
Mm-hmm.
Then when a documentary comes out, all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, this is disgusting. You've been known it was disgusting, but you like to be entertained. So there's people who like you feel, and I feel like we make concessions, and we've all done it. Everybody has a
Mm-hmm.
problematic fave. I used to, Kanye used to be my problematic fave. I used to make so many concessions for him. And then eventually I was like, yo, this dude's like, this ain't it. Like, come on, bro. Like, this ain't it. And I still listen to Kanye, old Kanye, when it comes on. But like the amount of fandom that I once had, and just like
Mm-hmm.
me being just getting into fights and arguments about him, like, oh, he doesn't have to vote Democrat, he can be a Republican. Oh, this, that, and you feel me? Like, I don't go out of my way to do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I feel like a lot of people, whether it's a Chris Brown, whether it's a Nicki, whether it's, and I'm not saying they're all the same thing. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Whether
It's
it's a
different. It's
Cardi,
levels.
yeah, whether it's a Cardi B, whether it's like just people who have people have said for certain things they're problematic. Whether it's a Justin Bieber, like there's black folks who still out here rocking with Justin Bieber, and like, oh, he was a kid when he was like one less lonely nigger, like, you feel me? Like Justin Timberlake. So people are gonna defend who they like, regardless. We know that's gonna happen. But for me, with the Russell, and once again, I wasn't ever saying that Usher is guilty of anything. And
Right.
I hope that Usher is not. There's certain people who are very close to some of these fires, right now. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I hope they're not complicit in anything. Another one is Sean Carter, right? Because great friend, like best of friends with Diddy, best of friends with Dr. with Dr. Dre. And I'm just like, if all your friends are doing the same stuff, because I don't know everything that my friends do. Like when I'm not around them, I don't know every single
Exactly.
thing they do.
Yeah.
But if all your friends are doing these things in studios and clubs, and like,
Yeah.
it's like, something's off. Birds of a
Yeah.
feather flock together. And I'm not saying that's what Usher is, because I don't like, but I'm just saying that I was more speaking, and I probably could have articulated it in a better way. Because when I was saying it was a choice, it was a choice, it was weird. Because I do think, from a PR
Well,
standpoint, that shit
yeah.
is weird. I
Yeah.
do
That's
think
what I
that,
saw.
yeah, I think that you're about to go on tour. I think that, like, you're about to have the biggest, second biggest year. Like, you're on, like, you're back. You are back. And you, I don't
That's
know.
like, it's like, where's the PR? That's why I was like, where is the PR?
I don't get it.
Where's, not only where's the PR, where's your thought? Like, where's your brain at? Like, you just didn't,
So, am I a bad friend? Let's
you didn't
litigate
think.
this.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, would it be bad for me? So people know, like, with my platform, I'm a really big advocate for obviously LGBTQ people and black women especially, right? Protecting black women, sometimes to a fault. And that is what it is. We all have our thing, right? If one of my friends was accused of SA against a black woman, if or a woman in general, if one of my friends was accused of like domestic abuse against a black woman, I can still be there in that space to like, yo, that wasn't it. Yo, you shouldn't have done that. And have those conversations and be there through with them through the process that they're going through, right? But does it make me a bad friend that I don't want to be on live with you? Does it make me a bad friend that I don't want to take pictures with you and post it because I'm gonna be because people are gonna be like, yo, I thought you fucking I thought you support black women. I thought this, that, and the because the way people were in the comments was like he's being a good friend and you're supposed to be there through your for your friends through the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's what makes a real friend. Am I a bad friend for saying I don't know if I want to be in a picture with you, bro?
No, you're not a bad friend protecting your own brand. I mean, I would be a bad friend to have you doing that. I
Mm.
would be a bad friend to pull you into my situation with me. I would
Mm.
tell you, you know what, maybe it's not a good idea with what's going on right now that we post a picture. Come enjoy my private villa, whatever you want to do, but let's keep it a low key thing because I don't want you to be wrapped up in what I got going on because there's so much going on.
Everything don't
That's
have
a
to be
good friend.
posted. Everything don't got to be posted.
Everything don't have to be posted. Of course, we all know that we will, as politically correct as everybody tries to be, we know that there are going to be people in our lives, right, that are not. I mean, for our own families, child, that's going to be doing some stuff that we
Hmm.
don't agree with and that we don't get with. It doesn't change that. It doesn't make us not love them. When we go
Mm.
to Thanksgiving and that cousins that has been locked up 17 times or been selling drugs and that's not what you do, it doesn't mean that you agree with what they're doing. They're connected to
Facts.
you. That's your
Right.
family. It doesn't mean you agree with what they're doing. However, what you're not going to do is if you know that they are gang banging, you're not going to get in a picture and pose with them while they putting up while they flagging because you don't
Yeah,
want to
I'm
be
gonna like, hey, bro,
associated with it
put that, put that sound, put your
because
hand
you don't want
down.
to be associated with it. You will practice caution, right?
Hmm.
And that is the problem. Like, where is your caution? Are you
Yeah,
throwing caution to the wind? Are you not afraid? Are you playing reverse psychology? Are you
mm.
what is it? Like,
Because
where's the
Usher's
PR
because
again?
Usher's been in the industry long enough. Like I just even watched the way he answered questions when he was on the Breakfast Club, and they
Yeah.
asked him about the fight, the alleged fight with Chris Brown, and he answered the way he answered it was like me and he's like, oh yeah, me and Chris, we good, we ain't got no issues. But it was at the same time it was like something happened. You
Mm-hmm.
feel me? But he wouldn't tell us what exactly happened. But
He
something
wouldn't say what happened.
1000% happened. You could tell with his body language. But he's media trained, so he knows how this game works. You feel me?
Yeah.
He knows how all of this works. So to me, and so I think that's where my tweet came from, a place of I just thought it was weird. I just really thought it was weird. And I wasn't trying to say that Usher is, and then people were like, oh well, you posting that and then posting the picture of the girl in the background with her leg up and all of that, that's gonna make people think X, Y, and Z. I said, well, first of all, I only reposted what Russell Simmons posted. How the hell do you think I? You think I? How do you hell do you think I got the pictures? It's not
You
like
were there. You
I
were
was
at
there,
Bali.
right? It's not like I was in Bali. It's not like Usher texted me the picture and then I betrayed his trust by
Right, right,
posting
right.
it. Like, it was just weird to me. And even the whole like, listen, if yoga's your thing, is your thing, but just like all of the pictures and just the vibe and the energy, it was just weird to me. And I was just like, why is this happening? And then obviously later on, somebody gave me more context. I don't know if it's true or not, but they said that he was already in Bali
Mm-hmm.
and hey, I'm in your city, pull up. I'm pulling up with my wife. We gonna come put eyes on you. So I get that. I've had friends that are going through it, and I'm like, yo, I'm on my way. I want to put eyes on you, right? Let's
Mm-hmm.
talk. Let's chop. But I don't know. It was just weird seeing the pictures and then knowing what Russell Wilson, I mean Russell Simmons, is accused of. And I get it, it's just accusations, it's just allegations, but it's a lot of them. You feel me? And then just like you just come on, bro. Like I want to see Usher
Yeah.
win.
Yeah.
As a lifelong fan of Usher, and I just
Yeah.
like, what are you doing?
Separate yourself from the mess, dude. That's what is lacking. It's lacking separating yourself from the drama. Like you actually were able to kind of separate yourself from drama that you're actually named in. How do you go and get yoked up in drama that ain't got nothing to do with you? And now it's tying you back to all of the rest because it's like, wait a minute, this is a theme. Yeah, it does look away. It looks weird. Um, to some people that know everything about everything. I think the other thing too is a lot of people don't know everything about what it all is going on and what's ties to it and stuff too. And so
Right.
sometimes they'll defend without knowing everything.
Hmm.
Um, which is fine because you can only talk about what you know. So if you don't know that, if you had no idea that it occurred, so you just wonder like, what did he like? Why are you saying that? That makes
Right.
sense. But like, look at what it truly is. Look at what was said. All you said was, this ain't, this looks weird.
Yeah, it's a choice. It's a
It was
choice. There's a
and it
lot
was
of
a
things that's a
choice.
there's a lot of things that's a choice,
It was
right?
a choice.
And
It was
like
a
I,
choice
I
not to be correct.
and I think that sometimes we don't really, and like this is something that we should do on an everyday basis, even in our everyday lives. Like there's certain choices that we make. Um, I am not a fan of Just Hilarious at all. That she's a vile human being.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
But I made a choice. There was a time she had said some stuff, and I got ready to tweet, like reshare the tweet, quote tweet it, and I was like, "She's such a nasty B word."
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, mm, "I probably shouldn't call this woman, let alone this black woman,
Mm-hmm.
a B word,
Mm-hmm.
especially since the platform that I have and what I stand up for and what I, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't have huge influence, but I have an influence. People
Mm-hmm.
look to me and they know like, oh, Mike is gonna give X, Y, and Z. If
Mm-hmm.
I'm out here calling a black woman a B, then they're gonna be like, that's weird, bro. That was a
Like what?
weird thing for you to tweet. So I made a
Like it
choice
wasn't that
not to
bad.
do it. I wanted to do it because I felt like sometimes you got to say, especially in the space that we're in, the podcast, and you got to say certain stuff because you know it's going to like sensation. You got some stuff is like almost sensationalized, so you got to say certain stuff to make it pop, right? But then I was
Mm-hmm.
like, it's not worth it. And
Yeah, it's
we
not.
all have choices every day. We make choices. We make hella choices every single day, probably hundreds of choices every day. What am I going to eat? You feel me? If I know that if I if I know that I got like I got a heavy workout, I got to make sure that I'm going to eat. It's a choice for me to eat. Now, if I don't eat and then I take my ass to that gym and take a pre-workout and I have no food on my stomach and I'm like just killing it in the gym, when I get a headache, when I get lightheaded, when I can't finish
Mm-hmm.
my workout, that's my fault because I made a choice not to do something.
Mm-hmm.
So like we make choices every day. So like that's all I meant. And this is not me defending myself because I stand on what the hell I said. And I said it was a choice that he did made. And to me, I said that is weird. And I still believe that that shit is weird. I don't care what none of y'all
Yeah.
bullies are going to inbox me. Oh, what we're not going to do is we're not going to tear down a black man and we're not going to tear down one of the greatest entertainers of all time. We need to respect our legends more. What? I didn't do any of that. I just said it's weird. Some of y'all do weird shit. And when I see it, I call it out.
Yeah, it's definitely a where's the PR moment. Like that was weird to align yourself publicly in that type of like way. It wasn't. It definitely wasn't thoughtful at all. He didn't think nothing about that.
Yeah,
And on that note, right, when you compare to all of his other things that he's done as far as training, and then you get to a moment where it looks like, where did it all go? Then you start to think like, was it intentional? He made a choice.
he made a choice, and we all make
So it's
choices.
like, hmm. And if it looks weird, it looks weird. Like,
Yeah, there's some stuff that people say that I do. My behavior sometimes is like, yo, that was weird, bro. That wasn't cool. And okay, it would like let me fix myself, learn, like fix
Hmm.
yourself. And that's the thing.
Hmm.
Accountability. Folks don't like hold nobody accountable. Especially if it's somebody who they really like or really
Hmm.
adore. If somebody entertains you, just like, oh, let's make excuses and excuses and excuses. Like none of us are
Yeah,
above reproach. None of us. If I'm
yeah.
wrong, correct me. If
Please.
I'm wrong, call it out. For tomorrow. Look for internet. Alexa, shut up, bitch. If I'm wrong, correct me.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's that. I'm sure we'll be following this story as it progresses. Just like the Diddy stuff that was going on last week. It's a lot.
I hate
It's a
all of it.
lot.
I hate all of it. That I hate that any of those things happened. I hate that there are allegations. And I think that's the overarching feel that we all have. It's just like, damn, come
Our
on, not
heroes are becoming
another.
villains.
Yeah, all of the people that we grew up loving. It's like, damn, another one. Not that we don't believe it or that we want to fight against it, but just like, damn, it hurts. Like, just gotta like, damn, another one. Goddamn.
But
And you know what I always say? I always, whenever anybody talks about anybody that's in that generation, those people with whatever's going on, I always be like, yo, it's our, I want to say our as in my fault, but it's our fault. Look, we
yeah,
allow a lot of this stuff to happen. I was just saying, like a lot of people. I remember being in high school, and there was people that didn't have prom dates or couldn't, because their boyfriend couldn't go because of their age, and we knew members and women and things like that that had
yep.
boyfriends and men that were too old for them, and parents allowed it, and family allowed, and people allowed it, and they didn't say nothing. They turned their heads, or they let it happen,
That
or
didn't
the
make
ones
it
that were
right though.
sneaking and doing it. It doesn't make it right, and it's like it's all of this is happening is because it's stuff that we allowed then, and now it's all coming back
Yes.
to bite us.
And now it's like people are starting to be like, yo, this isn't okay. Yo, this isn't right. And now people are like, oh, well, we're too sensitive and woke culture. No, what is happening is for so long, we allowed our word culture because when you say certain words, they flag your content.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, our word aura aura there we go,
Aura.
our word culture was promoted heavily
Oh, absolutely.
for in media, in music, in our homes. Even what happens in this house stays in this house. You feel me? Now we're in a place in society that we're like, yo, this ain't it. Yo, feeding this girl 20 drinks to get her drunk and then taking her back to your crib with your homies and to run a train. That's not
A threesome.
okay. It was it was never okay. Like it was never okay. And why are you
Yeah.
drunk? She's the only drunk one? No, bro, that's the R word.
And if they can't say no to you and mean it or enforce it, if they could be like, nah, and then you could just be like, nah, it's cool and move out.
Right.
They can't
So
tell you no. So of course
I
they didn't
feel
say
like
no.
So I feel like what we're seeing, and then some of these celebrities, they just have more money because it happens with the person down the street. The difference now is these people have a lot more money, a lot more power, a lot more access, a lot more resources, so they've been able to kind of like fly under the radar and cover shit up.
Hmm.
Jamel Hill said something when she was on the Dan Lebatard show and they had asked her about it, and she was basically saying like there's been things, and she's in the industry so she would know, right? So people are like, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know these people. She's in the industry, right? She's been in the industry, and she was like, there's been things said about Diddy forever, for ages,
Hmm.
and it's kind of one of those things that people just don't want to talk about it, especially when he was this powerful mogul, because you want to make sure that you don't get blackballed. right? Tiffany Evans. I don't know if y'all remember Tiffany Evans, Promise Ring.
Mm,
She was the little girl in that Tyler Perry movie, singing in the choir. Like, she made a lot of different statements about the darkness in the industry, and she got blackballed, right?
mm.
Hasn't worked since. So it's a real thing. So that's why a lot of people are silent. But then now people are like, Cassie's came out and said what she said, and now all these other people's like, oh yeah, I remember when he did this, and oh yeah, I was around, and I have an issue with that too because not the victims, but the bystanders.
Yeah,
Now suddenly, you want to punch down on and pile on Diddy. Why didn't you
that's
do
what
it
I
before?
mean. Yeah,
If you
that's what I
cl-
mean when I say us. Like,
Yeah, it's like you were a bystander. You allow that shit to happen. How many grown adults saw R. Kelly picking up kids from Kenwood High School,
they
or
was
from
with him.
the McDonald's next to Kenwood High School?
They were with him.
But when the money runs out, come on. When your access to their power and their popularity and all of that runs out, now sudden you want to be like, yeah, I saw them do X, Y, and Z.
And when that opportunity to distance yourself from the bullshit comes up, you be
Hmm.
like, whoa, let me get out this jam because I want to be a part
Hmm.
of it. Now you ready to go sing, like a bird. So it's like, it's a lot. It's a lot when we look at those people, but unfortunately they getting hit and we gotta watch them fall.
How do you think, and we're going to end with this, how do you think we as a black community, because I want to be a lot more solution based this year
Yes.
and not just talk about the issues, but like bring some solutions if there can be solutions. How do you think we as a black community should handle and deal with SA and DA and like these type of things?
I think we need, first of all, we have to understand that there's two sides to the coin and there are two issues
Mm-hmm.
happening. Excuse me. So there is the victim, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. The victim is the person that it's happening to. They're the ones that's being taken advantage of. But we also got to look at the person, right, that has done it. Because what in you causes you to do this?
Mm.
And I think that's the problem. We don't focus enough on both. We
Okay.
gotta focus on both. We will, and even in instances where we see to the victim, we'll see to the victim, make sure the victim is okay. We throw the I don't even know what to call it, the
The
villain, I
abuser.
guess, the abuser. Thank you, perfect. We throw the abuser away, but we forget that there was a
Mm.
reason that the abuser was the abuser, and throwing them away now won't stop them from being who they are. So you throw them away from this situation, they do their little time, they get out, they go somewhere, maybe they're on a list or something like that. But it didn't fix why they did it
Mm.
to begin with. So I'm like, rehabilitation for me is big. Like, we need to fix both people because
Mm.
both people are in our culture. Both people are
Mm-hmm.
in our society. Both people are in our world, in the rotation of people that we come in contact with every day. So there needs to be
Mm-hmm.
things in place. I don't know, and I can't even say I know what it is. Like, is it a program for people anonymous that you have a propensity for that? Who's gonna go? I don't know. Maybe someone will go to it and be like, I really don't want to be like this. I want help. Who knows? But I just think there needs to be some focus on the rehabilitation of the abuser as well to stop it, right? And I think accountability, man. That's the second point, accountability. I really hate the word cancel culture because to me, I call it accountability culture. Because
Mm-hmm.
first of all, if I have the ability to cancel you, then that means that I had the ability to create you. And so I created you, right? Not me myself, but
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
whole, we created you. We gave you the platform, the career that you have. And it's nothing more than a review. If you go online and you go look at reviews before you go shopping, Are you calling that cancel culture? No,
Mm.
it's your experience with the product.
Mm-hmm.
And if
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
product is bad, I want to warn people that the product is bad. And
And I
guess
don't think
what?
we even. I don't think it's real. I think that's one to the. Kind of like when the white people, white conservatives, are like use words like woke.
I hate hearing that from somebody that don't
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what that
yeah, yeah.
means.
I think it's the
Well,
same thing because if we're being honest, no one's canceled. Not even R. Kelly. Cause these ninjas out here still to this day in 2024, stepping in the name of love. You go to any
yeah,
brunch with black people in Chicago, and you're gonna hear some R. Kelly song. And it's not always gonna even be happy people stepping in the name of love, backyard party. You're gonna hear seem like you're ready, bump and grind, ignition, like
sex,
shit that's
sex,
really
wine,
shouldn't be
yeah,
listened to.
wine for me.
My
I'm sorry,
mind telling me
it's my
no.
song though.
But my body's telling me like what? So
Yeah,
I really don't think anyone's canceled for real. So like I think when people complain about cancel culture, it's just because they don't want to hold people accountable. They
yeah,
want to look the
accountability.
other way. They want to be able to listen to who they listen to, watch who they watch without anybody checking them. And that goes back to because they do it. Use come on. Some of y'all listening right now, some of y'all watching right now, y'all watch your homeboy get in that Uber with that girl who was who
Or guy.
who drunk or guy drunk off her ass, drunk off his ass, and you watched him get in that Uber, and you know exactly what happened. You
Hmm.
know what happened, but you didn't say anything. You
Hmm.
didn't do anything. So of
Hmm.
course, when it's a celebrity, you're not going to care because you don't care when it's your people in your own entire orbit, your daily orbit.
Right, and you feel like it's not you, and you can distance yourself from it because it isn't.
It's
So
not my
you can
business.
say, That's on them, man. Ain't got nothing to do with me." And I don't know. And that scares me because when we lose empathy, we've lost the thing that keeps those intrusive thoughts in our head and not in the world with the people that we are in community with. You know what I'm saying?
Period. Because there's even been time, and look, we got to wrap. But I'm getting a signal. We got to wrap. But there's been times where I said it last week, and it's real because I really wanted people to know this, and it just especially when it comes to like essay,
Hmm.
you could be in the act, and somebody could like something happens, and the person's like, "I'm not feeling this no more." You gotta stop.
You
You gotta
have
stop.
you
I've been
always can
there.
change your mind.
I've been there, and they were like, "Whoa, you doing too much." Let's like I can't. I'm
I've
looking
been the
for
one
my
saying, "Hold up, you're doing too much."
right, and for somebody to keep going, that's
No, I ain't
SA.
gonna doing that over here. But yeah, that's that's definitely SA. It is, and the person who is experiencing it, and I'm telling y'all, like, if y'all ain't never watched it, it's old school, but it made things so plain for me. 13 Reasons Why.
Hmm.
That thing
You
cleared
wait.
up.
Did you call 13 Reasons Why old school? It literally came out within the past 5 years.
That was like 7 years ago, wasn't it?
No,
Well, I
even
meant old.
seven
I didn't
years
mean old
isn't old
school.
school.
No, I didn't mean old school, but I mean it's old. Like them people like
Okay.
47 now. No. But
Okay.
but that movie really did it for me. It gave me a real understanding. And it made me look at situations that I had been in and was like, damn, was I yikes. Because she explained the way she felt. And if you felt that feeling, you know what she's talking about. It's a feeling, that feeling she had. She didn't say no. She didn't say yes.
Right. And
She
then it's just
didn't
like,
want
oh
to,
shit, we're here now. So
but it happened.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so that's why consent, consent, everybody, consent. If you are not sure that they really want it, you better add that shit to your sexy talk. You better add that shit in. You want you want it? Yeah. They get a fish for a yes. You better search for a motherfucker yes. Because if you don't get it, You're in danger, girl, because they could come back and say you didn't on some real
Yep.
stuff and on some like, false accusation, right? They could. However,
Mm-hmm.
but for yourself to make sure that you're not being an abuser, right? Because we both could be lit and be like, on some da da
Right.
da. And then, you've been an abuser and not realize it. Or allowed yourself to be abused and not realize it.
Mm-hmm.
So consent.
That's the word of the day, y'all. Consent.